Hi, Chris.
Hi.
Hey there YouTube and all of my subscriber family, and welcome all the new subscribers. Thank you for checking out my channel, watching my videos, and supporting what I do. I very much appreciate it, because without all of you, there's less of a channel for me. So you are all awesome. Thank you very much. So I have no idea how much this video is going to make any sense at all. It's more of an update video than anything else. But it's also kind of a van build video, which is why I'm calling it Van Build episode 63. I believe it's 63 that I'm on. But that's what I'm labeling it, episode 63. And I've also, you'll notice I've kind of played around a little bit more with my little introduction, with the background of a sunset, the clouds reflecting the sun type of thing. You know, let me know what you think about that. I may do more of that. I'm not sure, but I will tell you this. Somewhere in this video, I'm going to implement a time lapse, and that little background clip in my introduction is a portion of that time lapse. So stick around for that, because although it's not perfect, I kind of shook the camcorder on occasion, so you'll see what I mean. It's not perfect, but it was a great shot. At least I think it was a great shot. I'm sure all of you will enjoy it as well. I have to share one little detail with you, and it's a shame on me thing. It's a shame on me thing. The frame of my fireplace enclosure fell off. Yeah, it came loose, and then fell. And then I had to cry. Is it a legitimate, authentic cry? Absolutely not. But I had to cry nonetheless. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to go down to Lowe's, which I have to do that anyway because I need more sandpaper. I'm going to pick up some liquid nails, and then I'm going to fix this problem. I was using tile adhesive, and it seemed to have held it together for, what, like 6 months? And let's face it, tile adhesive works fantastic for tile. So I'm going to get some liquid nails that should alleviate the problem altogether. And perhaps, maybe I could do a carpenter talk video about liquid nails. How exciting would that be? Actually, that may be exciting for some people. Even for me. But it's another thing to talk about, because I think liquid nails could be very beneficial in van builds. So maybe we should do that tomorrow. I was thinking about it this week, and I want to be able to upload more videos. But one of the challenges of being able to do that is not only working full-time, but also driving for between 3 and 4 hours a day. So really it's like working 12 hours a day, so half the day's gone. And that's not an excuse, it's just a challenge to overcome somehow. But this week, I've actually started to build another cabinet. And the reason why I want to build this particular cabinet is because the other side is actually going to have a built-in seat, and I'm not even going to go into any of that yet, but I will go into it when the time is appropriate. But the other reason is because when I install this particular cabinet, I can start moving some stuff into the van slowly, as I minimize down to the absolute essentials, and then maybe a few things here and there that I just want to have with the van. So that's the idea behind this particular cabinet. So it's going to be a lower cabinet to start out with. As you saw, I already have the toe kicks there. And I actually made one attempt to build a template slightly different than the way that I'm used to doing it and the way that I'm comfortable doing it, but let's just say I failed miserably, because I failed miserably. But I just decided to go back to the way that I am comfortable making a template for the cabinets, because that's just how I know how to do it. And I've actually had one of my subscribers, describe in great detail another way that I could do it. I do want to try making a cabinet template that way at some point. But the reason why I'm not going to do it yet is because when I'm working on the van in the driveway, it's not a level surface and it's slightly tilted. So I have a slant and a tilt to deal with. So I just don't know how accurate that would be. I think there is a way I could overcome that, but for the time being, I'm comfortable with the way that I do it, and I'm just going to stick with it for the time being. But that is in the back of my mind. So I have my toe kicks. They're not installed yet. I actually have to modify one ever so slightly, and I'm going to do that tomorrow. It's no big deal. It's just an eighth of an inch too long, so I need to cut it down slightly. Not a big deal at all. So that's all I'm going to do to that. But aside from that, the toe kicks are done. I need to build the toe kick drawers, but I can do that later. The important thing, the kind of priority is to build the base cabinet, and I'm going to build another cabinet on top of that one. And then the other cool thing is I'm going to have a finished end panel that will go to if you're facing the cabinets, it will be attached to the left side of the cabinets. And then from there, it'll actually act as almost like a divider wall, the same type that I have that separates my kitchen from the study area / sleeping area. So it'll look very similar to that. And then I'll add other details to it, which I will talk about in more detail later on. So that's the idea behind these particular cabinets, because they're going to hold much of the essentials that I'm going to need on the road. And I'm debating whether or not I want to put in adjustable shelves. And if I do want to put in adjustable shelves, do I want to split the cabinets in half so that way I can split them up evenly? I haven't figured all that out yet. And if I use 1/2-inch plywood the way that I have been, I'm not going to be able to just split them in half. I'll just have to deal with them as a wider cabinet, just one single cabinet, which would be fine. And the reason why I'm using 1/2-inch plywood is because it's considerably lighter in weight, and weight is very important, especially when you already have a gas hog for a van. It's not really that bad. I get between 10 and 14 miles per gallon. Although I don't have any way to prove that because my tripometer doesn't work. But that's not the point. When it did work, I was able to test it. One thing that I did notice though is the first cabinet that I installed in this van, which has a built-in fireplace enclosure, I must have built it incorrectly because it doesn't quite sync up when I build the other cabinet square the way that it's supposed to be. So I have an idea of how I'm going to resolve that issue, but I do not want it to. But I want to think about it. So I'm going to sleep on it and figure it out tomorrow, because obviously it's too late tonight. But I also want to get this video out because I want to try to be more fluent on my video uploads. So I really don't have much of an update as far as the van build itself, other than to let you know that I'm building another cabinet. Uh, this week is one that reminds me that I have no problems. I have none. Between helping my brother. My brother has quite a few health issues. One of which is epilepsy, and he also works for the same company as I work for. I suppose you could say that I hired him, and I can really see when his physical limitations really tax him. And he's got a great work ethic. We both grew up with fantastic parents who taught us what it means to earn a dollar, and so we both have great work ethics. There's never been a question about that with any employment that we've ever had. But needless to say, one of the struggles that goes along with the great work ethic is ignoring physical signs, and trying to be as supportive as I can, and also not too forceful, because technically I'm his boss. When I see those signs and whatnot, I make mention to him about it. And the usual response is something along the lines of him being fine. I very much respect the fact that he wants to be independent, but sometimes it's rather taxing. Not only just going through that constant conversation of, maybe you need to take tomorrow off or whatever, but just seeing him go through it. It's that reminder that I really don't have any problems. I probably look really tired. And, I mean, granted, it is past 10 o'clock at night, and I am tired. But I was actually up until probably 2 o'clock in the morning this morning. And then I had to get up at 4 o'clock to get ready for work this morning. And the reason for that is I had to take a close friend of mine to the hospital. This particular individual had surgery on Tuesday, which was 3 days ago, and was, let's just say, not feeling up to par, and to the point where this individual was having signs of their own. And I had to take this person to the emergency room, and there was just no ways around it. I could not see this person go through what they're going through, and there's nothing I can do aside from give that person a ride and stick with this person until a family member could arrive to the emergency room with us. It's just that constant reminder that regardless of what I'm going through, I have no problems. You don't have to, but if you would like to pray for these individuals, I know that they would not refuse, and they would very much appreciate it. In fact, the close friend of mine actually does watch my videos, so this person will greatly appreciate it. And I say it like that because I know this person appreciates their anonymity. So as I promised, I have a time lapse for you of a sunset, and I hope you enjoy. So, as always, thank you for watching. Take care. Love others as you love yourself, and I'll see you next time.